Before I jump into talking about the film, which I love, first of all, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. Okay, this is going to be really dorky, so please bear with me. My husband is obsessed with Christmas. We have now four Christmas trees in our house. The first one that we put up we call it the skinny legend tree. It's just shirtless, hot men, rainbows, gay stuff.
Are you asking me for a shirtless selfie?
No, no, that's not. I mean, I'll take one, but I mean, that's not what I'm asking for. But the top of the gay tree, I always try to do something with like cultural relevance or what I guess the gays are talking about. So like the first year it was Tar, so I did the Tar star. The second
Right,
year
right.
was Barbie, so I had Barbie with a whole bunch of the Kens and it was called Hey Starby. And last year I was obsessed with the substance and Elizabeth Sparkle, so it was Elizabeth Starkle. And this
Mm.
year, the first tree that we put up was the gay tree. And since my husband and I both love Kiss of the Spider Woman, we have Ingrid Luna as Starrora on the top of our tree. Something for the ornaments to aspire to.
Um, that is so good. It makes me want to hate crime you.
Okay,
Do you know
I
what I
accept that.
mean?
I accept
I'm
that.
just like, wow, that is brilliant. The Starrora.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I'm a little ashamed, but not really at the same time.
No, that is so what do you mean you're like, the gay Halloween of it all?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what do you mean you're the lady who flipped off people on Canal Street on ice?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I
that that is iconic. That is
Yeah.
iconic
Thank
behavior.
you. Thank you.
I think
Um,
we would get along great at a bar. That is exactly my sense of
yes,
humor.
I will gladly buy you drinks all night long. Um, I saw this movie in theaters first. I just rewatched it last night. Just sort of everything about it, the spectacle of it, how unbelievably queer it is. I haven't seen the original movie in a minute. I've never seen the original stage show because I feel like no one does it because they're terrified of it because it's hard to do. You have to have a lot of things to line up to do it. And I guess now that the film has been out and the people that love it really really love it, and I kept thinking about this movie in this moment. Like I really wish a lot of this felt more like a period piece, but in terms of gender, in terms of identity, in terms of people being snatched off the street, things like that. Now that the film has come out and there is some distance from the release and the anticipation of it, I guess I wanted to know, like, how do you feel, like, kind of sitting with it, because it feels very very relevant to me, like I said.
I wish it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I think in April and in May when things started really getting crazy, I was erratic.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to feel. And I think I wanted to escape. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to cry. I come from an immigrant community. My mother worked at a drive-through, and it just I didn't know how to process it. So I started journaling and I discovered that I was in a state of grief.
Mm-hmm.
I was grieving. And then all of a sudden these like excitement of the promotion of the film and you know the juxtaposition of those two things was a little like cognitive dissonance because here's this amazing thing that's happening. Um, and at the same time, here are these unfortunately awful things that are happening to the exact communities that our film
Mm-hmm.
represents,
Mm-hmm.
right? But God gifted me something. Our film is a part of that conversation. it isn't just a movie, it's a movie, it's almost a movement,
Hmm.
right? And people felt catharsis watching it. I had a trans woman, a trans Latina, um, stand up during one of the Q&As and said that she, as soon as she saw Molina step out, she said, "That's my sister. I know
Mm,
her." And that meant the world to me because for some people, Molina may be the first genderqueer person they ever meet. And it was my mission to show their full humanity and get you to fall in love with their eyes and their heart and their sense of humor,
hmm.
um, as a way of subversion, as a way of political action.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, the way that this film really taps into, just in terms of, like you said, visibility. Like, there's that documentary that came out a couple of years ago, Disclosure, about seeing queer and trans and non-binary folks on screen. Like, we learn sort of empathy through, entertainment and visualization, this kind of thing, that we don't even realize that we're becoming more empathetic and tolerant while we're watching it. And the first time that I saw the film, I kept wondering about maybe, a husband dragged to the cinema by his, wife or girlfriend, and he had, doesn't like musicals, and they see a character like Molina, and they see what this character goes through. That has to have an effect on
it
everybody.
does. No, it does. I mean, I get that people message me, and that's the
Mm,
really beautiful part. Like I screenshot it just to remind myself of like that's the impact. That's the real win here is people's lives are their souls are uncallousing.
mm, mm,
I went to CAA recently for a screening of something else, and someone came up to me and they were telling me that they brought a friend with them to go see the movie, and they were like a war veteran
mm,
and very machista kind of vibes, and he was sobbing inside of that film, and I was like, see, that's
mm.
the impact of what we do. I know that we focus, a lot of people focus on the box office or they focus on like the prestige of it, but I'm just like, wow, no, like I remember being a kid and learning about different cultures and traveling the world,
Yeah.
traveling time, traveling space through cinema. And so I don't know. It's like we're gifting that to young people. And like when people, like there's a rampant amount of Latinophobia right now. And there's also like trans people are being called terrorists for simply existing. Our movie's turning around and saying, we see you, we love you, and you're
Hmm.
getting the Hollywood treatment, baby.
Hmm. And you know what? That's what the legacy of the movie is going to be. It's not going to be, like you said, if somebody wants to talk about other things related to the film 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, when someone, whatever kind of streaming services exist in that many years, when they turn on this movie, that's what they're going to connect with. They're not going to connect with, anything about the release of the film. It's just that it's just so bold and so open-hearted in terms of these characters, that that's what is going to be the lasting impression, if you ask me. um you mentioned Molina's eyes, and I wanted to ask about that, just because I kept thinking, on my rewatch, I kept thinking, as a kid, Molina watches a big screen, um just the moviness of it all, things like that. You I'm a big, like, voice and speech physicality kind of nerd. So I kind of wanted to ask, on several fronts, about your very, when Diego's character, you know, you first meet, you're very punctuated, very theatrical, and then it's sort of like it settles and it calms as the two of you get to know each other and the feelings start to grow. But then I was really impressed with the difference between the voice work of Molina
And
speaking and
Kendall.
singing, and then Kendall, because it was the first time that I heard you speak as Kendall, I was like, oh my god, this is it's so, like, kind of surreal to see an actor that, it's your face, but your voice completely switches
Changed.
who we're seeing. Um, and I kind of wanted to ask about carrying that through, or maybe charting that through the whole film, because you have a lot of work in here, and I kind of wanted to know how you handled that.
Well, darling, thank you for noticing.
Oh my god!
No, I mean it's acting, right? It's
Of course.
the instrument and it's the practice. And I finally felt like I had the opportunity on paper to tell these distinct stories. And so my mission statement was really like, how can I express the entire gender spectrum with one film?
Mm,
And so with Molina, my mission statement was I want Molina to be genderless,
yeah.
genderqueer, whatever language you want to put around it. Um, as a political action, as a forum for people to say, like, I don't understand, but I love this person anyway, because they got the most amount of heart.
Mhm.
And so I made distinct choices. Like, I mean, I lost 45 pounds in 50 days. I know, and I did it the old-fashioned way. I wish I used those Ozempic. I just starved. So it's fine. But no, I made distinct choices. Like I kept Molina's armpit hair, and
Mhm.
we would find moments with the makeup to uh, add a little bit of stubble back in, take some of the stubble away,
Mhm.
given the positioning of Molina and their energy. Um, but with Kendall, I wanted to showcase something more traditionally masculine because that's what it was called for,
Yeah.
right? And so I looked backwards in time and I remember watching, well, first I watched all the classic films, musical films that Bill was going to reference. I asked him to give me a syllabus. So everything from Singing in the Rain to like Girls,
Mhm.
he gave me a full homework assignment. Um, but I wanted to find that emotional through line, and in it, it said something along the lines of Kendall Nesbitt was he was closeted and he didn't want to come out. Um, and I felt like he was this tortured soul. So I remembered Montgomery Clift in The Heiress,
Mhm. I love that movie.
and an incredible movie. And so I was
Mhm.
like, how can I embed that? Like that can be my like for all the astrology girlies, that could be my moon. Like I have a Montgomery Clift moon with a Gene Kelly rising.
My God.
And so that's what I wanted to do. And I watched a bunch of it because it's a different accent. It's a proscenium style performance, as opposed to the more naturalistic world that Molina lives in. And then at the very end, I got to play this. Molina gets to live their full femme fantasy.
Mhm.
And so I saw that opportunity. I was like, wow, I get something traditionally masculine, something hyper feminine, and then just something that lives in the middle. And my favorite thing to tell people is if I could do that in 2 hours, what can you do with your life?
Because if Melina is here and Kendall is here, the way that you get to like
Play
just
within them.
float back and forth is really beautiful. Like even just like when I was watching it again last night, I literally just under my breath, I was like, the posture. Like I was just
Darling,
like, yeah, right there. Like
wait until you
leading
hear
with
my
your
Southern
chest.
accent.
Messing with
No,
me.
but it was fun. I mean, it was so much
Yeah.
fun. We got to go backwards in time, and we got to. I kept thinking to myself, like, if we have one shot, like, what do I want people to come away with? And I wanted to, because I'm a cinephile, and so I
Mhm.
wanted to gift that to other cinephiles. I wanted to find little nods to each of the individuals, because also Bill was doing that with his images that he was creating, the Sid Charisse dress,
Mhm.
you know.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, Molina was something special. It was
Yeah.
arguably the hardest job I've ever had to do.
Yeah, no pressure.
Um,
No pressure at all. What do you mean?
but
Yeah, the
energetically, oh, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna sorry to go off what you said something about what Bill was presenting us with. I have to say the way that Bill shot the movie where it's like I don't remember the last time I saw a movie musical where we saw everyone top to bottom from far away, big ass motif. It was for anyone who likes old Hollywood or is even just a little curious about it, they're gonna lose their mind.
Yeah, I mean, we shot 11 numbers in 17 days,
That's insane.
and he was determined in shooting it in a classic way. I think it was Fred Astaire who said that he wants to see the dancers uninterrupted, like
Mm-hmm.
one single take, so you know that it wasn't like done in the edit. And so we had to do those numbers. I mean, even a number like She's a Woman, which feels much more simple, is an entire we have really one cut in between the two rooms. but each of those moments had to be choreographed and danced with the camera, and the eye placement was clearly mapped out so that you don't lose your eyes in the sense of.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was fun to shoot in that traditional style because I think now we can cheat and get away with a lot more than actors of that time period could.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you brought up. A lot of people didn't notice this, but I did intentionally make this decision that Molina was performative, more performative in the beginning, and rooted at the end because I feel like their way of surviving the world is by performing, by
Mm-hmm.
entertaining you, by you can't possibly harm me. I'm the one who's making you laugh,
Yeah.
right? But it doesn't reach Valentine, and I think that the mask ends up dropping. It
Mm.
has no choice but to drop.
Yeah.
They're exhausted, and finally they get seen as the person that they are and love on Valentine in the only way that they've ever received love, which is like a mother,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then they have sex, and then everything, all else changes. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That even She's a Woman is such a beautiful, like I want to say soliloquy. And it's the thing that I love about that is that on the surface it does look so simple, but the way that the camera moves around, you're sort of like dancing with the camera a lot
Mhm.
there. Um, and just sort of with the theatricality, I just liked how um I don't know, when the two of you are first really in a room together, the way that you almost like punctuate the end of a sentence with a movement almost. It's so I was so obsessed with that when I saw it. Um I wanted to ask about the physicalness of being in that cell just because the line that stuck out to me, I'm sorry, I keep saying when I rewatched it, but when um, Molina talks about the Balenciaga scarf tucked away in a purse. And I kind of wanted to know if you had anything like that on the set for you that was like kind of just for you that we may not have seen.
I made a lot of requests.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, and I'm very meticulous. I think I share that with Molina. I'm very meticulous
Yeah.
in the way that I create work. But I asked for a rosary.
Mm.
And we ended up we I think we did capture it. It's been a minute since I've seen the film, but I think we did capture it in the court scene. But I wanted something that was very private and that my mother gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, tucked away. Um, and like it's difficult to separate, being Latino from being Catholic. They kind of go hand in
Mm-hmm.
hand culturally. And so I just kept thinking like Molina may not be a person who prays, but their mother is. And I think that they would have put a rosary around them as they were entering prison. And
Mm-hmm.
so that was one of the things that I kept because it's hard to live away from your family.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anyone's ever loved or seen Molina before Valentine, except for his mother. And so I wanted that little nugget. And we kept it hidden on the far corner of the bed. I created a little altar
Mm-hmm.
for her.
Oh, wow.
Um, but we experimented with the space though. It is a claustrophobic space, but we kept trying. We moved things, we organized it, and we kept playing with it to keep it dynamic. Like every scene, we tried finding a different angle from which to shoot.
Yeah. It's impressive with that space. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You mentioned full femme fantasy at the end, but I wanted to ask about ascending the staircase
Oh my God.
at the end because I was really taken with the moment before you actually just physically start walking up. I don't want to say hesitation or anything, but you're looking at each other. And I guess I wanted to know, I was saying, what did it feel like? But I mean, like that moment, I guess, like when does Molina sort of give themselves permission to like take the first step to go up?
I think the first initial step, saying goodbye to Valentine, that lift,
Mm-hmm.
we did shoot it, but we didn't use it, which I think was better. But there was just a close of me looking at him, making the decision to leave.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that that moment had left, that lives on screen in the choosing to go to the theater, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was just like I got to enjoy this love one last time. And so the first half of the stairwell or the staircase was the acceptance, like the initial acceptance, like, oh, this
Mm-hmm.
is about to happen, it's fine. But witnessing the Spider Woman in all her glory looking down at you in that like sharp
I just
blue,
got chills. Okay.
it was almost like a mixture of pain because you know that this is your death,
Mm.
but she's also so beautiful and you almost want it and it was worth it. And so I felt like I was living this like, the Hollywood starlet silver screen moment, just like awestruck.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a decision. There was a small micro decision of just like, this is my time. And then the walk up was just right into the kiss. There was no hesitation
Mm.
before the kiss. It was just right into it. But it was epic. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I mean, that set was massive and
Unreal.
gorgeous. I mean, and it lived up to its expectation. When you walked into that room, it was breathtaking.
Mm-hmm.
And to ascend that step, I felt I was like in Citizen Kane or Rebecca, just like in these grandiose rooms. Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be very hard for many a queer person to not just uh run towards Jennifer Lopez, I imagine. Um,
Yeah. Which
yeah.
also it's funny. I literally at that moment, because we were in full geesh, I looked at her and I was like, is this a lesbian moment? I was like, this is sapphic. And
Yeah.
I was like, wait, okay, so I have a very, cishet gay-ish moment with Diego. They have a heterosexual moment together. I have a heterosexual moment with her. And then now we have a lesbian. I was like, everybody's getting kisses over here.
Yeah. It's a and begins the next movie, the Sapphic Spider Woman. Yes.
Yeah,
There's
two spider, two woman.
two women. Yes. Um, I guess just one I was about to say silly question, but I don't think this is a silly question to end with. Currently, who is your Ingrid Luna?
Oh.
I feel like people may have a joke that I made the first time that I saw the film when I was telling somebody who had no idea what it was about. They were like, "Tell me what Kiss of the Spider Woman is about," and I said, "It's about queer actress adoration. That's if you want a
Yeah.
baseline." And so, like, I've loved Julianne Moore since I was like 19, so
Yeah,
she's
yeah, yeah.
like whatever. But I feel like Ingrid Luna is a lot more theatrical, a lot more than a traditional screen actress. But I guess I wanted to know if you currently have an Ingrid Luna, who would that be?
I mean, I think I have a few and they all have a similar essence. I think I chase essences more than people,
Mm,
but like Dorothy Spornak will never not be me. She's like she is me. But in
mm,
that vein, like a real version of that is like a Patty LuPone.
okay,
I
all
had
right.
a 2013 Prius that I named Patty LaPrius, but solely because of her voice. I mean, it's just like it's in your face. But no, Dorothy Spornak, man, I think that she's my North Star for a lot of things, especially when after a few drinks, the jokes start landing. No, but the film was really it was such a gift. It really was a gift, especially because I pride myself in my transformative nature. I mean, just a little bit of contour, and all of a sudden you're changing my pronouns. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's wonderful to like be able to play, and everybody on this film it was like as if we were going to our favorite class,
Mm,
and everybody was up. I felt like I was being recruited to the Olympics. Down to the costume designer, Colleen.
mm-hmm.
She's like art living Edith Head.
I'm obsessed with her. I talked to her once, and I was just like, because I
Exactly.
love costume design too. That's like my favorite craft to talk about. And it's just the thing that I keep thinking of, like I can tell that everyone in this film was having kind of like the time of their life, despite some of the really heavy things in it. But like the moment where you get to run down a set of stairs surrounded by beautiful men in a next to hand in hand with Jennifer Lopez in a Cheetah Rivera tribute costume, it is like the joy on your face, for one, feels so incredibly real. But also at the same time, I was just like, this person is like living the biggest dream in the whole wide world. Like,
Well,
I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, no, no. Listen. You're bringing up a good point. In where you are, Ingrid sings, or Aurora. Actually, would it be Ingrid in that case? I guess it would be Ingrid. Ingrid sings or to Molina, "Why do you have to be where you are? Come with me and be a movie star."
mhm,
But in real life, Jennifer Lopez is singing that to me. And after COVID, after the strikes, the industry has been increasingly more and more difficult for a person who isn't already a celebrity, right? I'm a working class actor. I've pride myself of only being an artist my entire adult life.
mhm,
But it comes with its own challenges when you're not a vehicle in and of yourself. And so to have that moment and share it with her felt kismet.
mm,
There was a meta narrative to it. And I flew out my mom, who again was an immigrant, and like it's surreal. Our story is almost impossible.
yeah.
It does feel like if there was ever a Hollywood dream, we kind of lived it for that entire shoot.
Mm.
And she was there to witness it too, which is really sweet. Um,
I saw
and
like
even
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, no, please, please.
I was just saying I saw I think it was on your Instagram, the picture of you and your mom at Critics' Choice, and it's just a really sweet, the picture of the two of you like on the red carpet together. It was just a lovely
I
thing.
I wanted to share that with the world because I do think that like our community needs a win. And
Hmm.
I want to share this win with everybody because I
Yeah.
feel like, man, all the negative things that have been said about Latinos and immigrants this year, it's just like a reminder of our dignity and a
Hmm.
reminder of our humanity. And I think it's important that people know that like it takes chutzpah and tenacity and
Hmm.
determination and joy. Like these things are possible.
Yeah.
Like I was born prematurely. And the only reason I'm not dead from debt or from, you know, the illness was because of socialized medicine. And now we're cutting
Hmm.
those programs. It's one of those reminders where like I am no different than the very people that you're claiming are negative.
Yeah.
It's no, you can't celebrate us and take us down in the same breath.
My husband is a neonatologist, so he deals with children who are born prematurely every day. And I do think that that's just a sidebar, but the kind of way that I don't know the lack of empathy and the way the lack of humanity that we see being hurled at so many different individuals is really it's horrific. But seeing something like this,
Brings
where
it
it
forward.
is all about not just the joyous parts, but the whole rounded experience, I think is really inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cathartic.
Mm-hmm.
We need joy. Joy is our birthright. Joy
Mm-hmm.
is our birthright. Peace of mind is our birthright. And both the Latino and the queer community are resilient.
Oh yeah.
Resilient people. I mean, the queer revolution started with a brick. Pick
It's
up
like
the brick.
don't tell me you can't do. I say that all the time. It's like don't tell queer people that they can't do something because we're going to be really annoying to tell you why we should have it. So
Yeah, that's
like,
exactly
come
right.
on. So yeah. Okay. Um. Thank you for letting me nerd out with you. Um. You were so generous with me. So thank you so much for your time. Big fan of the movie. A lot of our staff is a big fan of the movie. So I just can't wait to see what you do next. And just thank you.
I appreciate you and thank you for your time.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Have a good day.